and welcome to the Bloomfield High School Thespian Society's production of The Complete History of America, Abridged. Tonight's performance will include one 15-minute intermission. The actors used in tonight's performance were tortured under the strict supervision of previous audiences who used their cell phones and talked out loud during performances. Please take this time to turn off all cell phones, burner phones, tablets, Chromebooks, and pacemakers. They have been known to interfere with our sound system. Cellular devices, a distraction, those around you. Of course, on stage. Please, them off. C, if you are seen using your phone, you will be greeted by a green laser pointing on the back of your chair in front of you. If the green light needs to be used on you more than once, you will run the risk of being asked to leave the performance. Finally, The Complete History of America is brought to you by ShopRite. Don't shop wrong, shop right. And now, for your edification and entertainment, The Complete History of America, Abridged.
Puritan imperialist, westward expansionist, capitalist, intellectual forebearers, I will be brief. I believe it was Benjamin Franklin who once said, "History is written by winners." Well, tonight, it's our turn. William?
Thank you, Xander. Sylvia?
What?
Well, would you like to explain why we're doing this show?
Okay. Well, before we started doing this show, I didn't know too much about American history. So I started to read up on it, you know, like in books and stuff. And I took a ton of notes. I must have taken like 3 pages of notes, front and back. And I found a quote about what history is that I thought was totally cool. It said, "History is the deconstruction of necessary illusions and the study of emotionally potent oversimplifications." And that still holds true today. Because I see this show as about remembering the past. Because it's like that old saying, those of us who forget the past are doomed to forget other things, like your car keys, or even your own phone number. So I see this show as like a post-it note on the refrigerator of America. A post-it note that says, "Hey America, don't forget to record the Masked Singer tonight." Because it's only through remembering our past that we can learn from our mistakes, or at least blame them on somebody else, and move on into a better future, and enlightened capitalism, perhaps. Free from all forms of racism, sexism, ageism, weightism, hair colorism, making funism, and godism. And you may say that I'm a moron, and I say to you, yes. But I'm a moron with a dream. And that, my friends, is the most dangerous kind of moron.
Thank you, Sylvia. That was whelming. Let me see if I can crystallize for you why exactly it is we're doing the complete history of America. I think it's pretty simple. You see, some time ago, we received a letter in the mail from a little girl named Amy who lives in Warwickshire, England. She writes,
Dear guys, I think it would be fun for you Americans to condense all of English history because you all are so hysterical and attractive and intelligent and wise. Love and kisses, your fan forever, Amy. Well, Amy, this is the kind of letter that pisses us off. Did it occur to you that maybe we have no interest whatsoever in English history? Why can't Americans do American history? Where do all you English get off with this cultural superiority complex? We've got a culture too, you know, and a history.
yeah, and it's like my mother always said, it's not how fancy your history is, it's how you wear it.
And when we looked into it, we realized that many Americans are at best uninformed and at worst embarrassed about our own country.
Well, damn it, we've got nothing to be embarrassed about. We brought the world its first democracy, and a man on the moon, and Mark Twain, and
Britney Spears.
yeah, and Britney Spears, and McDonald's, and Coca-Cola, and Big Bird, and Bart Simpson. So don't go telling us we don't have a culture and a history, little smarty pants, Amy.
So hang on, Amy. We've got a lot to accomplish in the next 90 minutes.
Let's do it!
Go us!
We begin at the beginning.
1492 Spain.
The first chapter of the history of America is about to be written by that legendary Italian explorer,
Amerigo Vespucci.
We join him now in his humble nap shop on the Spanish dockyards.
Ringa, ringa. Hello, maps are us, Amerigo Vespucci. Have we got maps? We are the map mavens. What are you looking for? A sea route to India? What are you nuts? I've got your sea route to India right here, buddy.
Amerigo!
Sophia, who are these people you are bringing into my living room?
That's another thing, Americo. Every time we get into an argument, you have friends over.
Oh, no. These are not my friends. My friends would not be on their phone.
Where are they? Well, you missed it when I said you may say that I'm a moron. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, and I said, it's not how fancy your history is, it's how you wear it.
Well, the only thing I did was... where the hell were we? Ringa, ringa.
Americo Vespucci.
Oh, shut up, woman. I'm on the telephone. Look, buddy, Great. You just lost me another customer. I hope you're happy, Sophia.
You know what would make me happy? It's just once. When I sent you out for food, you didn't come back with a fish.
But Sophia, this is God's food.
Don't give me that line about holy mackerel. I'm sick of it.
But they get a good deal on the mackerel.
We wouldn't need a good deal on a mackerel if you sold a few more maps.
Pasta, fagioli, spaghetti, bolognese. Are you saying I'm a failure as a map maker?
My parents told me not to marry you. They said, marry a nice boy, like a Christopher Columbus. He's going places.
Well, maybe if I had a wife who would give me a little more support every now and then.
Oh, no, it's not my fault. Face it, Americo. Nobody buys your maps because they're crap.
Oh! What do you mean, grappa?
What about crap? Don't you understand?
I knew you would say something like that. Here, take a look at this. How do you like that, huh? I made it myself.
Well, it might be fun at pools, but you don't know what you're doing. Face it, Americo. Every time you see a landmass, you name it the same thing.
No.
Take a look. What's this?
North America. Down here, South America. But what's this? Union of Soviet Socialist Vespucci. No, no, no. Besides America, everybody knows that the world is flat.
Ha! I am way ahead of you. Take a look at this. See? It's shaped like a pizza pie.
Sacro Bambino, you're worthless, America, worthless!
I am not worthless. I am trying to make a name for myself. That is all. I have a dream which is something you will never understand. I'm sorry, Sophia, but I have to go. I cannot stay here any longer. I have to be something, all that I can be. Arrivederci, mi amore. I'm off to discover a larger world. You will never see me again. When you drink this wine, eat that fish, remember me.
America!
Amerigo!
America!
Hey! Amerigo Vespucci was his name.
Vespucci!
Charting lands and masses was his game.
Uchi.
La scatola parcisi
No, charting land masses was his game. I set sail to chart the seas in 1499.
In a vessel full of dreams, pastrami and cheap wine.
The mighty sailor man.
River shore.
Amerigo set sail from it. More than a 3-hour tour. Much more than a 3-hour tour.
After 2 long, treacherous voyages, Amerigo concluded that what everyone had thought was India was actually a new world. He named it Mundus Novus, Latin for giant nose. It later bore its name America. History was made.
Amerigo, Amerigo.
God shed his grace on me.
Your name will live forever now, from sea to shining sea.
And so the new world was called America. And we, the people of that land, were called Americans. But what does it mean to be an American? Marion? Thank you, Maddie. And thank you, Kira. Let's take a look at this word, American, shall we? Just 8 simple letters. But over the years, this word has come to stand for liberty, equality, prosperity, and the sort of gosh darn persnicketiness that has made the U.S. what it is today.
Let's take a closer look, shall we? The first letter couldn't be simpler, just little old A. But A is the first letter of the alphabet, isn't it? The first, the beginning, the progenitor of democracy, perhaps. A also means one, implying oneness or unity. So you've got to admit that A is one loaded little letter.
Now, the second 3 letters spell out mer, which is the French word for anyone? That's right, the sea!
In this case, obviously referring to the sea of humanity to which America brings unity. And don't forget that it was across the sea that the French sent us the Statue of Liberty, a symbol of freedom in a sea of oppression. We later sent them Johnny Depp.
Now let's take a look at these last 4 letters, shall we? They spell out very plainly. Say it with me now.
I can.
Now you've got to admit that's one plucky little word.
Not many people know this, but if you rearrange these 8 letters, you get...
I can breathe. Now, if you rearrange the letters in the name of our very first president.
George Washington, you get... Sweet Groaning Hog, which was actually the title of a popular song during the time of the Revolution. And if you rearrange the letters in the name Dick Cheney, you get, say it with me now, Needy Shit. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what it means to be an American. We thank you.
Now, we know what little Amy's thinking. She's thinking,
Hey, they skipped Christopher Columbus. That's not fair. He discovered the New World and they hardly mentioned him.
Well, his name wasn't really Christopher Columbus. It was Cristobal Colon. And he bumped into the New World by mistake. And he wasn't even the first one there because the Vikings, the Japanese, and the Irish were probably there before him. And there was a native population of over 90 million people there before he arrived.
Yeah, but Ian, in all fairness to Columbus, though, he was the first man to slaughter and enslave the native population in the name of Christianity. And he became very wealthy in the process. So in that sense, Columbus was the first true American. Oh, we got some genocide fans here tonight.
Aaliyah, I'm sorry, but that is so Eurocentric.
What do you mean?
The story of the first people begins long before the European invasion of the native settlements in North America.
That's true, but it doesn't fit in our timeline.
Oh, Jason, it's thick!
Well, then your timeline is bogus.
It's not bogus, it's just incomplete.
Hey guys, take a look at this.
What's that?
It's a supplementary timeline, which I prepared earlier.
Good thinking.
It covers all historic events prior to 1492.
Okay, I'll buy that for more of a big picture sort of thing. Where are you now, Ian?
Aaliyah, I'm at the crucifixion of Christ, and I don't see Mel Gibson anywhere.
Well, don't stop there. Keep going.
All right, ancient Romans, ancient Greeks.
Toga, toga.
Yeah, we're having an ancient kegger. Ancient Egyptians, invention of the written word. Birth of Bernie Sanders! Xander, it's getting kind of cold back here.
That's because you're in the Ice Age, man. You better get back up here. You're not really dressed for it. That's far enough anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, scientists speculate that the first people came to North America across the Bering Strait between 12 and 50,000 years ago.
My people are not so interested in what scientists have to say. We have our own stories of how the world began.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are indeed fortunate because Greg here is part Crow Indian. His great-grandmother was a full-blooded Crow.
And had a wingspan of 8 feet.
That is so typical of the white man.
She was a full-blooded Crow Indian and lived in the Pueblo Indian village in San Juan in the Rio Grande Valley. As his great-grandmother told him, Greg will now tell us the story of the first people.
Yonder in the north. Yonder in the north. Cut it out! Yonder in the north, there is singing on the lake. Cloud maidens dance on the shore. There we take our being. At the beginning of all beginnings, all was water. To the north was water. To the south was water. To the east was water. And to the west, you guessed it, more water. And so the water was everywhere. And everything was totally wet. How the water came to be, nobody knows.
All right, Greg, we get the water. Can we want, please?
Hey, the water's important. It's archetypal. So back off, okay? Okay. Water north, water south, everything wet. Okay. Now, living above the water, there was a coyote, a duck, and another duck. And they walk into a bar. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, the coyote says to the ducks, dive down into the water and see what you can find. So the ducks dive down and come up with mud and roots. The coyote took the mud and spread it all over and made mountains, hills, valleys, hollows. Then, Coyote planted the roots and up grew grasses, plants, trees. Then, Coyote took a handful of mud and blew into it and made male animals and female animals. He made female ducks, which made the two ducks very happy. I can tell you. And there was a great quacking and gnashing of feathers. Finally, Coyote made the first man and first woman out of mud. And there was a great quackulation. And it was good.
Now at this point, doesn't the tribal elder usually perform a dance? Throwing bull?
Right you are, wears glasses to look smarter. At this point, the tribal elder usually performs the grass dance.
What's that?
It's a very holy dance. It's a dance to honor the ones we've lost and ask Mother Nature for great strength. As the elder of this group, would you do the honors, sits down to pee?
Like me delighted. Took sister to prom.
Now, the elder is in position and the dance is ready to begin. First, the elder will do the dance of blessing. He'll ask blessing on the corn, that it will be bountiful. He'll ask blessing on the rain, that it will be plentiful. He'll ask blessing on the hunters, that they may be brave and virile. Now, the elder will perform the 9 ceremonial twists of the antelope contestant. The first 3 twists represent the stars, moon, and sky, the constant companions of the antelope. The second 3 twists represent mother, father, and child, the family of the antelope. And now, the final 3 twists represent earth, wind, and fire, the favorite band of the antelope. And now, the other presents the image of the antelope. Give it up for the tribal elder.
After 1492, everything changed. In fact, in our research, we discovered that the 16th century lasted 100 years. And in that 100 years, America was crawling with famous explorers, mostly Spanish, whose ships could be recognized by the overwhelming waft of their cologne.
That's right, Elena. But did you know that it was actually Englishman Sebastian Cabot who first set foot on the continent of North America? He became very famous later as a neurotic crab under the sea.
And although it was the Portuguese Magellan who first circumnavigated the globe, Englishman Sir Francis Drake was the second man to do it when he discovered what is now San Francisco in his ship, the Golden Hind.
Coincidence? You decide.
Hey, Sylvia, can I do that poem I wrote?
Is it the one about Nantucket?
No, I couldn't find a rhyme for it.
Yeah, sure.
I wrote a poem about the first English settlement in North America. This is my poem. 'Twas 1607, in the fine month of May, where 3 proud ships landed at Chesapeake Bay, and a new life began for God's people that day.
For Jamestown was born, so the story was told. The sparrow lords waiting for the man of gold.
All right.
The living was harsh for those brave men and women. They toiled and they sweated and they really went swimming.
They wheezed and they grunted and soiled their linens. Their cupboards were bare, but their cesspools were ribboned
With sets!
Oh, yes.
The new world was changed by men who were brave and men who were strong. 6 million slaves and indentured servants and the Iroquois nation who gave up their land without compensation because the Indians landed underneath Plymouth Rock. John Smith was abused and Pocahontas died of smallpox. And that's a fact, Jack.
Give it away, give it away, give it away now. Give it away, give it away, give it away now. So the Pilgrims protected the art of good living. They carved the land and abandoned Thanksgiving. And the Guinea split just as quick as you please. Wham, bam, bam. There were 13 colonies. It was Georgia and Maryland and shut my mouth. 2 kinds of Carolina, both north and south. There was a bunch of colonies among themselves new.
Like York, New Hampshire, and Delhi, too. Virginia, Connecticut, Delaware, Rhode Island, and it is known Massachusetts is the home of my man, no.
That's N.O.A.M. Chomsky at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology.
Finally, Penn, which is the quicker state. So back up, buddy, because those quicks were great.
They thought the killing was wrong and they told him it's rude, but try telling that to the Puritans, dude. Hello and welcome to our dual weekly meetings at Salem's First Church of Tolerance and the National Witch Hunters Association. I'm your pastor, the Reverend Pharaoh Orwell. A quick announcement before we get going. Thursday is youth night here at the church. We'll be playing Hangman and Pin the Blame on the Warlock. So bring your little demons along and we'll scare the hell out of them. You know, last night, the Lord came to me in a vision and he said, Reverend Pharaoh Orwell, you and your followers need to kill 100 witches this week or I'm going to call you home. Well, I don't want to go home. You know what my husband is like. So I urge you to hunt the good hunt and don't forget that this witch hunt will begin an American tradition that will carry out well into the 21st century. Now, to avoid tragic cases of mistaken identity like we had last Halloween, here's how to spot a real witch. They melt when you throw water on them. They're surrounded by flying monkeys, and she was recently just escorted out of a Colorado production of Beetlejuice.
Hear ye, hear ye! This just in! We interrupt this witch hunt to bring you the French and Indian War! French and British at war again! This time in North America! In sports, the Patriots trounce the Chiefs!
Oh yay! British and colonists speak French and Indian. King George celebrates victory by imposing taxes on tea, stamps, sugar, and anything else you can think of. Colonists are up in arms. Hey, did you hear that?
What?
King George has raised taxes and the people are up in arms.
Really? Did you hear?
What?
King George has raised taxes and the people are arming themselves.
No way!
Wait!
Wow! Hey, the king has doubled our taxes and we're putting together a people's army to fight him right now. We're off to throw tea in the harbor.
Uh-oh, trouble's brewing.
Okay. Big tea party in Boston. Dumped tea in the harbor to protest taxes. Alice in Wonderland and Mad Hatter slated to attend. Hear ye, hear ye. British soldier kills Crispus Attucks, an African American, in the Boston Massacre. 4 others dead. The colonists are in revolt.
Hey, did you hear that?
What?
The colonists are revolted.
I know. Did you ever eat with one of them?
Oh.
Oh yay. British attack at Lexington and Concord. Revolution underway. Paul Revere and the Raiders #1 on the charts with the British are coming.
Listen, my children, and you shall hear of the midnight ride of Paul Revere. He said with a grin while
Bang! I hear a shot!
I hear a shot, monsieur. I hear a shot, senor.
I hear a shot, mate.
I hear a shot, comrade.
I hear hey and archie orky pay.
It was a shot heard round the world.
But the shot that started the American Revolution remains shrouded in mystery to this day. Nobody knows who pulled the trigger or why, but at the end of the day, 73 people lay dead. Let's recreate for you now what happened on that fateful day at Lexington and Concord. Maddie? Thanks, Holly. Now, according to the official Benedict Arnold's committee report, a single bullet was fired from the 4th floor window of the Lexington and Concord Scroll Depository. We have a mock-up of the bullet here. Thanks. The bullet followed this trajectory, killing 17 soldiers who were marching in formation, before making a U-turn and turning right up Main Street. Allison?
Thanks, Maddie. Now at this point, the bullet, which we have marked with an X, killed 4 colonists before stopping here at the Tar and Feathers Tavern for lunch, where it killed an additional 6 people, smashed into a table, knocking it back into the left, leaving in a white Ford Bronco without tipping the waitress. The bullet has never been recovered.
Coincidence? You decide. And a full-fledged revolution was underway. The colonists wanted to stop the British government from imposing unfair and exorbitant taxes so that the American government could impose unfair and exorbitant taxes. The commander-in-chief of the colonial army was George Washington, who commanded a tiny contingent of fighters known as the Minutemen. Volunteer soldiers ready to do battle within a minute's notice. The Minutemen, brave patriots fighting for American liberty. The Minutemen, lovers of the Minute Maid. It was the whole British Empire versus George Washington and his small army.
We represent the Lexington League, the Lexington League, the Lexington League, and in the name of the Lexington League, we wish to welcome you to Valley Forge. Thank you!
Gentlemen, I'd like to thank you for volunteering your services to this great cause, but I'm afraid I have some bad news. The road ahead is fraught with hardship, and you're simply not what I had in mind.
What do you mean?
I mean, I need regular, full-size soldiers.
Look, I hate to burst your bubble, Mahogany Mouth, but we are exactly what you asked for.
Are not.
Are to.
Are not.
Are to.
Stop it.
Stop it.
And that's an order.
And that's an order.
I'm a stupid little soldier, and I'm acting like a child.
We know you are, but what are we? Well bad. Look, cherry tree choppers, let's cut to the chase here. Do you recognize this piece of paper?
Uh-huh.
Is that your signature?
Yes.
Would you mind reading that to the audience?
Uncle Sam needs you. Wanted. Minute men to form. I swore I said Minutemen.
Even in its early days, America had a problem with literacy.
Expel the evil empire from North America and meet chicks. High frostbite tolerance a plus. No tea drinkers, please. Be all that you can be. Apply in person. Valley Forge.
Well, I'll be damned.
This is a clear case of vertical discrimination!
We'll sue!
We'll sue!
You can talk to my attorney. I'll see you in court.
All right. You have the job.
Yay!
Now, gentlemen, here's the situation. Thousands of well-trained British soldiers using the most advanced technology versus a ragtag band of undertrained colonists.
Are we that ragtag band?
Uh-huh.
That don't sound so good.
Why don't we just surrender now and save time and energy?
Look, I'm tired of all this sniping and insinuendo that our war effort is anything less than positively impacting on the British defense entrenchment situation. It is very difficult to enumerate quantitatively at this juncture in time just how offensive our capabilities are. But I'll tell you one thing. By the grace of God, our upcoming thrust will break through the last membrane of British defense and into Virginia.
So, will this make you the father of our country?
Now, gentlemen, all we need now is a flag to rally round. Any ideas?
Hi, I'm Betsy, and this here's my sister Diana. Stop in the name of love.
We like to share our ideas for the new American flag. Carry on.
Now, I'm sure you all know that this is the flag we finally settled on. But along the way, a number of flags were rejected for various reasons, and we'd like to share them with you. Rejected for obvious reasons. Now, I'm sure many of you are also familiar with the Don't Tread on Me. The first design I came up with, I really liked, but it turned out to be a little ahead of its time. Then, I struck upon an idea that I loved, that captured the heart and the true essence of what America is all about. But the Founding Fathers rejected it as too commercial. Here it is.
Enough shilly-shally, ladies. Now let's get out there and kick some British butt. Left, 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 left. Show the rebel troops brought the Brits to their knees.
By hiding themselves behind rocks, behind trees.
In formation, the British lined up to attack.
They marched neatly in rows and got shot in the back.
And finally, Yorktown fought anyone. The British surrendered.
The Yankees had won.
Yay! Give me an F, give me an E, give me an R-I-C, give me an A, give me an A. What's that spell? American!
Madison. Oh, Madison.
Jefferson? Jefferson.
Madison.
How about this as the beginning for our new Bill of Rights? Tax and spend.
No, that's too Democrat. How about this? Don't tax, but still spend.
No, too Republican, I think. Here's what it should be. Whether you're a brother or whether you're a mother, you're staying alive, staying alive.
Now that's too 70s.
I suppose you're right.
No, no, gentlemen, focus, please. I know, I look like Bozo. How about this? All men are created equal.
Oh, no.
This is a great tobacco, Jefferson. Roll this yourself?
Yes, want it to look old. Suppose Dolly Madison has any more of those cakes?
Oh, I can't believe the Bill of Rights is due tomorrow.
Now, as the world's first democracy, I think we should guarantee freedom of religion, freedom of the press, and freedom of speech.
If you guarantee all those rights, people are going to be saying all kinds of crazy stuff and pissing each other off.
Well, then, let's give everyone the right to carry a gun to shoot each other with. And the right to a fair and speedy trial by a jury of their peers after they do. Are we in agreement?
Totally.
Cool. Now, I would also like to propose that we draw up a Bill of Wrongs as a companion piece to the Bill of Rights. As I see it, Article 1 could forbid leaving toilet seats up. Article 2 could forbid taking away our liberties in the name of homeland security. Article 3 could forbid people we barely know from sending us amusing emails. Are we in agreement?
Totally.
Cool.
Now, before we go on, I want to say something about the Bill of Rights.
What's that, Ian?
I've been doing some thinking about this Bill of Rights thing, and I find it problematic.
Well, what do you mean?
I mean, they say we have free speech in this country, right?
Right.
So, can I say anything I want?
Sure.
No! Didn't you know that the Supreme Court says I can't say anything I want?
Like what?
Classic example. You can't yell fire in a crowded theater, right?
Right?
Well, what if there is a fire in a crowded theater?
Ian, that's not the point.
What is the point?
The point is that the First Amendment guarantees all Americans the full freedom of expression.
Freedom of expression? What is that, a joke?
No.
Could I go on television and advocate the overthrow of the government? No! In an R-rated movie, could I show a pair of lips kissing a butt? No! You can show that same butt being lopped off with a chainsaw, but you can't kiss it!
It's gross.
It's not gross, it's what I'm talking about. Okay, perfect. What'd you say? Freedom of expression? Suppose I wanted to light this flag on fire right now. Could I?
No! Because it would be a fire in a crowded theater.
That's not the point.
What is the point?
The point is to system is oppressing my right to say what I want, when I want.
Well, you're saying exactly what you want right now, and no one's stopping you.
Yeah, well, that's because I'm white. What? And a male when I'd rather be black, and a woman, and feel my belly swollen up with my baby, and be able to sing like Aretha Franklin. That's what I'm talking about, man. R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Oh, forget it. Thanks a lot for backing me up, Felipe. You didn't say one word the entire time I was out here. I can't believe I'm the only one standing up for freedom of speech. Nobody was baby in a corner.
You were just feeling.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
Well, I don't care.
Felipe, you should apologize.
Oh, forget it. I'm not going to apologize. He was overacting.
No, he's right, Sylvia. I was overacting. Check it out. I regret that I have but one life to give for my country.
Great. Get ready for the next scene.
Let's see. We've covered about...
Don't shoot until you see the whites of their eyes.
Great. Now, we've covered about...
I did not have sexual relations.
Get out! Sorry about that. Now, we've covered about 50,000 years of American history in 35 minutes. Are there any questions? No? Okay. Well, think about it. Save them up. And in the second act, we'll give you the chance to ask us any serious question about American history. But right now, let's get back to the new country, which more than doubled in size in 1803 when President Thomas Jefferson, by this time sober, purchased the Louisiana Territory from France for about $15 million, or roughly 3 cents an acre. He then sent Lewis and Clark west to explore this vast and uncharted area. Ladies and gentlemen, we are indeed fortunate tonight to have that fabulous team back with us, just returned from their huge successful tour of the Western Circuit, all the way from Bismarck, Boise, Clatskanie, Walla Walla, and Cucamonga. Here they are. You know them, you love them. Please bang your hands together for Lewis and Clark.
Myself, and we! We're glad to be back. We're glad to be front. We're glad to tell you facts about this wonderful country. Hello, everybody. Boy, we're glad to be here. We're gonna turn your dark skies blue. I'm wacky, I'm epic, I'm dashing and romantic, and you're glad to be what? You know, Lewis, it is great to be here in Bloomfield tonight. Isn't this a beautiful audience? Yeah, especially that guy there. Get back here, settle down. Ladies and gentlemen, we just rode in from Oregon. And boy, are our butts tired. We were sent out to explore the vast, uncharted American wilderness. We traveled across deep mountains and high valleys all the way to the ocean. Be specific, okay? The Pacific Ocean. Come on, these people want details. We spent the winter of 1805 in North Dakota. Hey, Clark, what's the capital of North Dakota? I don't know, Lewis, what is the capital of North Dakota? About 43 cents. Tough room. Anyway, we determined that the whole Louisiana is ripe for plunder and pleasure. The only trick is knowing how to negotiate with the Indians. No, settle down. There are no Indians here. But in North Dakota, we were fortunate enough to meet our Indian guide and interpreter, Sacagawea. She went all the way with us. She traveled with us all the way to the West Coast and back. She saved our lives more than once, our faithful Indian squaw. Hey, what's the matter? I don't like that word. What word? Squaw. What's wrong with that word? It's demeaning and offensive. Don't you watch Oprah? No, I don't. What's it mean? It's a Native American term which Anglo culture has appropriated and applied generically to all Indian women. It refers to a woman's nether regions. I didn't know the Indians were Dutch. No, not the Netherlands, the nether regions. Just wanted to make sure you're all still paying attention out there. I think we owe these good people an apology. I think we owe them their money back. Yeah, we might. I'm a little worried. All right. I'm sorry. I promise I will never use that word again. What word, squaw? I'm sorry about that. Anyway, we were also on a scientific expedition. We took extensive notes of the flora and fauna. We sighted many wild animals. We saw rattlesnakes. They go. We saw grizzly bears. They go. Grrr. We saw wild geese. They go. Squawk. What's the matter with you? Can't you learn anything? Didn't you go to college, stupid? Yeah, but I came out the same way. Come on, people, these are the best jokes of 1805. They don't get any better than this. Anyway, we were out on the trail for 28 weeks, relying solely on the providence of God and our native wits. Oh, Clark, wait! Man goes into a doctor's office, says, Doc, you gotta help me. I'm a teepee, I'm a wigwam, I'm a teepee, I'm a wigwam. Doc says, sit down, you're too tense. What was that? Native wit. What was that?
Heavy symbolism.
Good night, everybody. Goodbye, everybody. Boy, we're glad to be gone.
The Civil War. North versus South. Industrial versus agrarian. Sophie Turner versus Joe Jonas. Just as Vietnam was the first war broadcasted nightly into American homes, the Civil War is the first of which we have actual photographic images.
Tonight, we are proud to relive the triumphs and tragedies of the American Civil War in a slideshow entitled The American Civil War, the Slideshow.
Come with us now, back in time, to America of the mid-1800s. What was the fuel that stoked the fire, that made the steam, that drove the engine, that was the machine of 19th century American conquest and domination? It was the blood and sweat of Africa. Millions of brothers and sisters lost their lives at the hands of slave traders, and that's no joke. But by 1861, the pressure was building, and the engine was about to blow. They called it the Civil War, but there weren't nothing civil about it.
Now, we're gonna need some help from the audience on this one. If anyone here in this audience has a slide projector, please raise your hands.
You were supposed to bring the projector.
Like somebody's gonna bring a projector to the theater?
Well, what are we gonna do now? Maybe there's one backstage.
Anyone? Really? You brought one? Can I borrow it? I'll give it right back. Hey, I got one. That is so cool. You really saved my ass, I owe ya.
Okay. Now, while Greg and Allison set up, let me give you a bit of historical background. The importation of slaves was declared illegal in 1807, but the domestic slave trade continued to grow. Now, the national debate on slavery was growing too. And the Missouri Compromise of 1820 allowed slavery in Missouri, but nowhere else north of its southern border. This created an actual line dividing the North from South, which was part of the Mason-Dixon line. This set the scene for the war which killed more men named Zeke than any war in history. So, Seuss, if you'll roll the tape, we are proud to present the sounds and images of that enormous and devastating conflict, the Civil War.
The time between the inaugurations of George Washington and Abraham Lincoln was only 72 short years. And yet, in those 72 years, America had grown into two separate nations.
The South, agrarian, rich in tradition. The North, progressive and industrial.
For years, these two nations had struggled with one another.
At the heart of the fighting was the issue of slavery, and when abolitionist Abraham Lincoln became president in 1861, the South seceded from the Union. The Civil War had begun.
This photograph by Civil War photographer Matthew Brady captures the emotion of the Confederate soldiers at the Battle of Bull Run.
The war was the bloodiest in the history of the nation. Take a moment now to focus the projector. Go.
There was intense and deadly hand-to-hand combat.
Occasionally, soldiers had their work with them.
But in the end, the North overwhelmed the South through sheer numbers.
And so, Robert E. Lee finally surrendered at Appomattox, Virginia on April 8, 1865, and they all lived happily ever after. Except for Abraham Lincoln, who was shot in the head by John Wilkes Booth and died the next morning.
Inspiring the joke. But other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how did you like the play?
Shut up and stick to the script.
Oh my, do I detect a note of professional jealousy?
It's just not funny.
You're just threatened because I'm a woman.
What if I am? You think you just use me and then treat me any way you want in public?
I was always honest with you. You knew I could never love you.
John Wilkes Booth shot Lincoln in the theater and ran to a warehouse. Lee Harvey Oswald shot Kennedy from a warehouse and ran to a theater.
Lincoln had a secretary named Kennedy. Kennedy had a secretary named Lincoln.
3 days before he died, Abraham Lincoln was in Monroe, Maryland. 3 days before he died, JFK was in the bedroom of Marilyn Monroe.
Whoa!
And considers this dismaying observation. Ronald Wilson Reagan. How many letters in each name? 6, 6, 6. Reagan believed in the rapture and was the first president elected in a 0 year not to die in office since William Henry Harrison in 1841.
Not so surprising, Mr. and Mrs. Bury My Head in the Sand, when you consider the role of the Trilateral Commission, the NSC, and the IMF.
There's a top-secret Air Force hangar in Nevada housing an alien spacecraft.
We could be killed for divulging this information.
And where exactly was Matthew Gray Gubler on the day Malcolm X was assassinated?
Did you know that they faked the moon landing on a Hollywood soundstage?
Did you know that William Shatner wears a hairpiece?
Did you know there's a cult of dyslexic devil worshippers in the Ozarks who sold their souls to Santa?
Did you know that the person on your left has to take a leak?
And so do I. And so do I.
And so do I. Go out to the lobby.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Do not make eye contact.
We'll meet you back here in 15 minutes.
This conversation never happened.
pretty quiet out there.
Yeah, too quiet. They've hardly lasted since the Civil War.
I wish Felipe would get back.
I wouldn't expect him to be back anytime soon. He was on the phone.
How long's he been gone?
Since 1430.
1430? That's almost 500 years! Damn it! I should have gone! Felipe's just a kid. He doesn't understand the complex and most postmodern irony of a world war fought over linguistic and chivalrous 19th century ideals, but using 20th century weapons of carnage and destruction.
You're right. You should have gone. Listen here, college boy. The only complexity you need to understand is we're all just prawns in an international cocktail. We're expendable. We have a job to do, and we do it. Case closed.
You think they're still out there, Sarge?
They're out there, Shakespeare. Every last one of them. Well, except for that one elderly couple who was offended by our Dick Cheney joke.
Look! Sarge! It's Felipe!
Cover him! What's your report, soldier?
Report? Damn, cover me.
Now, what's your report, soldier?
Amazing colors on the horizon, sir. Very impressionistic.
You've been too close to the mustard gas again.
Yes, sir. Any movements here?
Just my own.
Shut up. I think the crafts are still in position.
Let's check it out.
My God!
We're outnumbered 100 to 1!
By animals. Look, there's Bambi, and Dumper, and Flower, and they're in 3D.
Give me that. Use these.
What are we worried about? They're munchkins. My God, they're huge!
Gentlemen, the brown stuff has hit the blender.
I gotta get out of here! Humpty Dumpty died! I gotta grow back home.
Calm down, soldier.
Okay.
Now, let's get back to business. What did HQ say?
Oh, right. HQ said, your sector is surrounded, unable to send reinforcements. Have a nice day.
What are we gonna do, Sarge? You got all the answers. What are we gonna do?
I don't know. I just don't know. I really haven't got a clue. I possess a total lack of both ideas and imagination. My thoughts verge on the criminal. I don't know. Wait! No, I just don't know.
I know. We can sneak away in disguise.
Are you kidding? They'll shoot us down like clay pigeons.
No, not in the skies, in disguise.
Oh, I see.
There's no way that could work. We might as well just eat our guns and order new helmets.
Calm down, soldier.
Don't you get it? We're trapped. We're just cannon fodder for the military-industrial complex.
Knock it off.
We're doomed. We're gonna die. I'm never gonna see my girl again. Thanks. I needed that.
Sarge, I'm telling you, this disguise will work.
Those better be German uniforms.
Better than that, we'll dress up as the Andrews sisters.
But the Andrews sisters won't be popular until World War II.
But the Germans don't know that. Come on, put these on.
This ain't happening, man. This ain't happening, man.
Don't worry, Ian. It'll be great. Just like when we were kids. You guys didn't dress like your sister? Strap on those boobs, soldier! That's an order!
Yes, sir.
Adjust wigs!
Yes, sir.
How do I look?
Strangely attractive, sir.
All right, men, don't stop singing till we're marching down Broadway. Seuss, give us the notes.
He was a sweet construction worker out of Frisco Bay, and he would fight to finally chance the night away. He was a sight in touch with cheese, and he would fight
fight for what's right. That's why he joined the Marine. But then he said he's gay, so he was blown away by the nervous homophobic poison company.
Lock and load, soldiers. Let's move.
Division 13 of Alpha Company, singing a song that won't be hit for another 30 years. We now return you to the plush starlight room, high atop the Palace Hotel, for the scintillating sounds of Harry Dame and his band of acclaim. But first, the news. Dateline 1919. The Treaty of Versailles is signed in Versailles. The Great War is over. 18th Amendment ratified, creating prohibition, and the Golden Age of radio unites the country, coast to coast, transcontinentally from sea to shining sea. On in 3, 2. You're listening to WXYZ, Abridged radio of the 20s, 30s, and 40s. Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. America, and welcome back to another thrilling adventure of Dodge Rambler Boy Buckaroo, brought to you by the makers of Thunderbread. Yes, Thunderbread. Individually sliced for your convenience, with 8 essential vitamins that'll make your body big where you need it. Thunderbread. It'll make your body big where you need it. And now, journey with us back to those rugged days of yore, when men were men, and so were the women. When frontier justice held sway, and America's hero, Dodge Rambler Boy Buckaroo, ruled the West with his best girl Molly and faithful horse Gordon. Tonight, the makers of Thunderbread and WXYZ.
What are you doing?
Nothing, I'm just honking that horn you have in your pocket.
No, here's my horn.
We present to you episode 34, Dry Days in Dusty Gulch. A new day dawns as Dodge helps Molly plan the new schoolhouse.
It sure is good of you to help with the plans for the schoolhouse, Dodge.
Shucks, Molly. This ain't nothing no red-blooded American hero wouldn't do.
It's just that you're so busy. I'm amazed you have time for little old me.
I'll always have time for you, Molly.
Just then came a knock at the door.
Come in. Why, it's Gordon, my faithful and trusty steed. What's troubling you, Gordon? What? Simmy's trapped on a cliff and needs insulin. Oh, bad guys have come to Dusty Gulch. You better stay here, Molly.
Oh, Dodge, I'm coming with you.
No, Molly, I don't want you mixed up in this.
But I'm so mixed up already.
Wait, that's my voice.
See? I told you I was mixed up.
Then let's go, Gordon, to vanquish those ne'er-do-wells.
What's the trouble down at the Lucky Shot Saloon? And what exactly is Aaliyah doing with those coconuts? The answer to these and other questions, knock it off or I'll kill you. We'll come after this message from the makers of Lucky Stroke cigarettes.
4 out of 5 doctors recommend Lucky Stroke cigarettes to boost their practices. Lucky Stroke. You're a lucky guy to have a lucky stroke. Now, back to Dodge Rambler, Boy Buckaroo.
Dodge and Gordon raced down to the Lucky Shot Saloon and burst through the door. With the Transcontinental Railroad, apparently.
What seems to be the problem?
Put him up, Rambler. We got you covered.
Who are you?
Shut up, cowboy, or I'll plug you full of lead.
Well, if it isn't the famous Dodge Rambler, Boy Buckaroo. I expect you've heard of us. We're the Hoover Boys. I'm Jacob. This here's my brother Herbert.
You're the infamous Jedgar Hoover. Nice scarf.
Thanks.
Dusty Gulch doesn't require your services. Be gone.
Not so fast, Rambler. We're here to help Dusty Gulch comply with the new federal law.
What new federal law?
The new constitutional amendment prohibiting alcohol.
federal law.
I'm serious, Rambler. Herbert, hold up that newspaper. It says so right here. The 18th Amendment to the Constitution prohibits the manufacture, sale, or transportation of intoxicating liquor.
Knock it off, Herbert. I'll run you in.
Oh yeah? On what charge?
Rustling.
So, the gentle folk of Dusty Gulch are forced into hiding as the hideous Hoover boys sweep through town, sucking up all that is decent and good.
That was good.
And decent.
Meanwhile, Dodge and Gordon bunk down under the Dusty Gulch sky as night falls.
Well, Gordon, another day gone and this prohibition law isn't working. If only we could find out who's behind this. Gordon, are you sure? Era, Inu, whoa. How many are there? Oh, Gordon, you are the best hero an American horse has ever had. Let's ride. We've got a prohibition to prohibit.
Undaunted, Dodge dashes desperately down to Dusty Gulch to detect the drunken and deadly desperados and detain them indefinitely in the dark and dirty dock of destiny and other D words.
So, Al Capone, we meet at last.
How'd you know I was here, Rambler?
I got it from the horse's mouth. Come on, Capone, I'm taking you in.
Not so fast, Rambler.
Jedgar?
Dodge!
Molly?
Capone.
Rosebud.
Drop your guns, Rambler, but the girl gets it.
You'll never get away with it, Jedgar.
Oh, I think we will.
Say goodbye to your lady, Rambler.
No, wait. Do what you want with the girl, but let me go.
All right.
Dodge! No! Suddenly, in a cloud of dust and the sound of a thundering wheelchair, appears Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
My fellow Americans, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Of course, as fears go, that's a pretty big one. Still, we must not let ourselves get down. To illustrate this, I'd like to read a letter from little Amy in Warwickshire. She writes, "Dear FDR, Germany's acting up again. I'm scared. Can you help us? Your fan, Amy." Well, Amy, this is the kind of letter that pisses Americans off. Our country's in a depression, but we will beat it. I'm going to create the WPA, the CCC, the TVA.
12 years later,
The FBI, the FDIC, and TGIF. We hereby declare war on the Axis powers. Oh, Lucy, come rub my aching. Click.
and now back to the exciting conclusion of Rock Fury Super GI.
Oh, my darling, Eva, look! The Allies are marching into Berlin! They are falling right into my trap. Now, I will press this button, firing the secret Weapons and we wipe out the whole Allied force!
Oh, Adolf, I love it when you're in a psychotic rage.
Wait, what is that noise? Oh no, it's a bird! It's a plane! Oh. It's a bird. No, it's Rock Fury Super GI. Your jig dancing days are over, little man. But Vi, I'll tell you, Vi. In its greed and lust for power, Germany has tried to take over an entire continent.
But isn't that what the US did in North America?
Wash your mouth with soap, little lady. Why, the US stopped land grabbing over 40 years ago. And there's a big difference between your land grabbing and ours. But that, we succeeded. And besides, we didn't try and wipe out an entire race of people.
What about the Indians?
Well, we don't lock people away in concentration camps.
What about the Japanese Americans on the West Coast?
You know, it's lucky for you, ma'am, I don't hit women. Much. Now let's go. If I had to hazard a guess, I'd say the two of you will be spending more than 12 years in Leavenworth.
Oh, 11 years and 12 births. 5 and 10 at good births.
That's enough. Now give me your gun and let's go.
Here's my Luger pistol.
I've always wanted to see one of these. Is this the safety?
Bang!
Bang! Oops. Well, thank goodness we won that war, otherwise...
Help! Help!
Wait, my super hearing is picking up Alan Alda calling for help in Korea. Rock Fury's Super GI is off once again to battle for truth, justice, and American markets.
This just in, atom bombs dropped in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, over 200,000 dead. That report in just a moment, but first, it's time to play Queen's Birthday! The game show celebrates the achievements of American women, where an ordinary housewife, a lowly homemaker, a societally conditioned domestic slave can become Queen for a day. By giving her knowledge of feminist history, or should I say, herstory. Greg.
Thank you, Sylvia. But before we play our game, we're going to need a female volunteer, a lovely little gal from our studio audience to come on up here and help us clean up this terrible mess that we've made. Any volunteers? Now, before you raise your hands, we're looking for someone who's in touch with their feminine nature and used to being bossed around like all the time. That's me, isn't it?
Okay, it's time to play Queen for a Day. Today's first question. If you think you know the answer, raise your hand. Who was the first female anarchist/organizer of the 20th century, founder of Mother Earth magazine, and lover of Sasha Berkman?
Look at all the hands shooting into the air. Everyone wants a piece of this question. Here's a lovely lady. Tell me, dear, what's your name? Where are you from? Oh, nice to meet you, Meg Moynihan from here. Tell me, dear, do you know the answer to Leah's question? No. That's okay. Nobody goes away empty-handed. I'll give you a hint. Just say Emma Goldman. Emma Goldman, Aaliyah.
No, I'm sorry. The answer is Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh, I'm sorry, very close. But just for playing, we'd like to present you with this, #1 in our series of great American women trading cards. Collect all 3.
Oh, we're awfully progressive here in the 1950s, aren't we, Sylvia?
We sure are, Aaliyah. Blame it on maybe Eisenhower, I say. Thank you very much for playing our game. A big hand for the little lady right here.
Okay, let's go to question number 2. Remember, get it right and become Queen for a Day. This one's a little easier. Name the brave seamstress from Montgomery, Alabama, who refused to move to the back of the bus and jump-started the American Civil Rights Movement.
Brave seamstress civil rights movement. Well, here's a lovely lady. Tell me, dear, what's your name? Hi, Isla. I'd like to thank you for speaking directly into my microphone. Tell me, dear, where are you from? Sorry, I missed that. You're from here? Okay. Isla from here. Do you know the answer to Aaliyah's question? Okay. Would you like to say it? Okay, say it. Rosa Parks, Aaliyah?
No, I'm sorry. The answer that we have here is Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh, too bad. I think she played her in the movie. But, just for playing, here's #2 in our series of great American women trading cards. A big hand for the little lady right here.
Well, no winner yet, but we still have question number 3. Sylvia, if they get this right, what will they win?
Well, Aaliyah, the person who answers this question correctly will win #3 in our series of great American women trading cards. That groundbreaking veterinary brain surgeon, Zira from Planet of the Apes. Aaliyah?
Okay, here's the final question. Who was the first female ever elected into the United States House of Representatives?
Everyone's thinking, I should know this, I should know this. Here's the lovely lady. Tell me, sir, what's your name? Paul Martinez. And where are you from? Sorry?
Here.
Oh, no, I heard you. I'm just sorry. Tell me, sir, do you know the answer to Leah's question?
No.
Would you like to make a guess based on our previous answers?
Okay. 9, 6, 4.
Okay, you know what? Let's hear from our audience. Could we all make a guess based on our previous answers? 1, 2, 3. Whoopi Goldberg! Whoopi Goldberg is correct. Now, I know I'm putting you guys on the spot, so now it's your turn. Who has a question about American history? Just raise your hand and we'll answer any question you have.
What? No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
Who said?
I saw them backstage.
Well, they're confused, aren't they?
I'm checking again.
Come on, stop screwing around.
Yeah, they're here.
Okay. Change of plans. Apparently, we have a very special guest. So I hope you'll join me in giving a very big Bloomfield welcome to President Joe Biden!
And Mitch McConnell!
And Mitch McConnell! Mr. President, it's an honor to have you here. We were just about to take questions from the audience.
But forget those losers. Can you take questions from us instead?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I'll start. Mr. President, how do you plan to win over skeptical voters in your re-election next fall?
Well, as my good friend John Wayne was just telling me, Joe, just remind those lying, dog-faced pony soldiers how boring the past 3 years have been. Hasn't it been great?
President Biden, you've spoken eloquently before on the issue of gender roles in America. Would you be kind enough to share some of those words with us tonight?
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men and women are created by the... you know the thing.
Mr. President, you've made it known that your economic plan has been a point of pride during your presidency. What has made this plan superior to your opponents?
The other guy's plans do nothing to tackle the #1 job facing the middle class. And it happens to be a 3-letter word. Jobs. J-O-B-S.
That's 4 letters.
This isn't going so well.
He came all the way to Bloomfield to be here with us. Let's ask him one more question.
President Biden, we were a little confused on your last answer. Care to elaborate on economics?
Look, here's the deal. Bidenomics is rooted in the recognition that the best way to grow the economy is from the middle out and the bottom up. It's economic vision centered around 3 key pillars. Making smart investments in America, empowering workers, and promoting competition to lower costs and help small businesses. Come on, man. The theory behind the usefulness of a stimulus package is rooted in Keynesian economics, which argues that recessions are not self-correcting. Therefore, government intervention can lessen the impact of a recession by boosting aggregate demand and closing the output gap in the economy. It's a big effing deal, man.
Wow. Senator McConnell, care to rebuttal? Senator?
All right, let's get these two out of here, shall we? A big round of applause for President Joe Biden and Senator Mitch McConnell. What a treat it was having one of them still living. I mean, visiting.
That is so wrong in so many ways. This isn't like TV, man. We can hear you, too. Hey, did you hear what this guy said?
I didn't hear what he said.
He said we left out 50 years of history.
What? 50 years?
Oh, I know. You're talking about the 50 years from the Civil War to World War I, right?
Well, did it ever occur to you that we left it out on purpose because it wasn't a very funny time in American history?
No. He said we left it out because we don't know anything about it. And I'm almost positive I heard him say that bangs don't suit everybody.
Oh, man, that's it.
Yeah, but we should answer the guy's question.
You
want to answer his question after he's been rude? He's American. He can't help being rude.
Okay, we'll answer. But it's going to be short, okay? Because it wasn't a very funny time in American history. Here it is. There was labor unrest.
Not funny.
There was land grabbing on an unprecedented scale.
Not funny.
There were 7-year-olds working themselves to death in sweatshops.
That's pretty bad. Okay, that covers everything up to the end of World War II, doesn't it?
Shall we move on? Yes, great questions. Give yourselves a big round of applause. We now move on to the final chapter of the history of America, in which myriad events collide and deflect, each seeming significant yet disjointed. And how better to capture the spirit of post-war America than with
a medley of Broadway show tunes. Woo. Maddie, we are not doing Broadway show tunes.
I thought we agreed. The Broadway musical is America's greatest contribution to world theater.
No, the world knows post-war America through the hard-boiled detective. It's the film noir ending.
Ugh, not the film noir ending.
Maddie, you're such a jerk. We voted.
I changed my mind.
You can't change your mind on a vote.
Okay, we'll vote again. This time we'll use the audience. Let's do this by applause. Everyone in favor of Maddie's stupid Broadway ending, applaud.
Everyone in favor of my thoughtful film noir ending.
Well, it looks like Maddie wins the popular vote.
Thank you, thank you. And we win in the Electoral College.
This is rigged. This is all rigged. All right. I'll do film noir, but only if I get to play all of the good parts.
Fine.
Yeah? Okay, cool.
Okay, post-war America, film noir ending. Play it, Seuss.
The name's Diamond, Spade Diamond. My friends call me Spade Diamond. I'm a private eye. The phone in my office had been gathering dust for weeks when a beautiful redhead walked in.
Hello, Spade.
Lucy Ricardo, what are you doing here?
I know I shouldn't have come, Spade, but I need your help.
Sure, now you need my help. But 5 years ago, you ripped my heart out like a blue chip stamp to stick into another man's coupon book.
Well, if you won't help me, maybe your brother Neil will.
I wouldn't bet on it.
Why not?
He's been dead for 3 years.
Oh my God. Look, Spade, I know it's none of my business and you might just tell me to shut up, but what happened to your brother?
Shut up, Lucy. It's none of your business that my brother, Neil, was a second-rate Hollywood actor who got labeled communist, blacklisted, and committed suicide.
I'm sorry I asked.
Just then, my hand rang. Hello?
If you know what's good for you, you'll drop this case before you even start it. Unless you want to know the truth about your brother.
My brother? I decided to trace the call. I needed to keep him talking. Hello, I'm tracing this call. I need to keep you talking. Who are you?
Just call me the conspirator guy.
The conspirator guy? What do you know about my brother?
Sorry, gotta go. Click.
He'd stayed on the line just long enough. I traced the call to a pool of light on the far side of the stage. Conspirator guy. For more information, dial 411. This will count against your minutes. Hanoi Hilton at midnight. Sorry, Lucy, I've gotta go.
Wait, Spade! You can't leave me like this! Vicky's being investigated by a government committee tomorrow. We think it's because he's Cuban and there's this Cold War on. Wah!
Look, Lucy, McCarthy and his cronies mean business. If you want him to let Ricky go, you're gonna have to give him a scapegoat.
A scapegoat?
That's what I just said. Somebody to blame instead of Ricky. Who's it gonna be, Lucy? Think. Think!
I know. Fred and Ethel.
Fred and Ethel who?
Our landlords, Fred and Ethel Rosenberg. It's so crazy.
It just might work.
Lucy! Lucy! You've got some splaining to do.
I better go, Spade. I got some splaining to do.
I felt strange stirrings. Now, I knew that Lucy would take care of herself. It was one of two things she did very well. Now, I had to get to Hanoi.
Hold it, Diamond! Stop milking that cow!
What do you want, Flush? I'm a busy man.
You still haven't explained your connection to the maternity ward bombing.
The maternity ward bombing? You can't connect me to the baby boom.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Why don't you go chase a real criminal like Tony the Tiger?
I'm not after serial killers, Diamond. I'm after you.
Yeah? Well, when you find something that'll stick in court besides your underwear, give me a call.
I'll get you, Diamond!
I had to get to Hanoi. I took a left turn up Market Street past the Golden Gate Bridge. The Statue of Liberty. And the Texas Book Depository. That bullet sure gets around. I knew the Hanoi Hilton. It was the seediest of the seedy in a town known for seeds, seediness, and horticulture of all types. Conspirator guy?
Hello, Spade.
Thanks for the invite. So, what can you tell me about the Cold War and how it relates to Vietnam, the domino theory, and my brother?
You see, it's all an elaborate game, with one side trying to keep the other in check. The domino theory says that if Vietnam goes communist, the rest of Asia will fall to the Reds too. Like dominoes.
You mean they'll deliver in 30 minutes or less?
No. They had that lawsuit, remember?
Hello, tall, dark, gruesome. Buy you a drink?
I wouldn't say no.
I'll be right back.
She was the most beautiful woman I'd ever seen. I wanted to make out with her in the worst way, standing up in a hammock. What are you doing?
I'm just trying to picture that.
Knock it off. Who is she?
Jo Doe, a mysterious woman living in North Vietnam. She'll have some answers, but be careful, Spade. She's trouble.
Dry up and blow away.
Okay, but it's your funeral.
So, Joe, what do you know?
Not much. Here, your drink.
Thanks. So what's with this war, sweetheart?
What do you want to know?
Just trying to clear up some family business.
I have a question for you, Mr. Spade. Are you on their side or our side?
I'm on my own side.
Oh, I see.
So, where were we?
The war.
Right, the war. Look, I got a question for you. Why is the U.S. so interested in a little country in Southeast Asia? It doesn't make any sense.
Ah, but it does. Who stands to benefit from the war? Figure that out, Mr. Spade, and you're home free. Look! Another monk is setting himself on fire!
A monk on fire? I don't see a monk on fire.
Oh, must have gone out. They don't make monks like they used to.
Here's looking at you, kid.
Over the lips, past the gums. Look out, tummy. Here it comes.
Up yours.
Up yours, too.
Ask not what your country can do for you. I have a dream by any means necessary.
To tame the savageness of man and make gentle the life of this world.
Whatever she slipped me, it was strong. I was high, all right, and I'm not talking vertically. Suddenly, I saw two figures approaching me. At first glance, they looked like Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin.
This is one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
But as they got closer, they started to look more like Ken Kesey and Timothy Leary.
Tune in, turn on, drop out.
Where am I?
You're having an hallucination.
Who are you?
I'm Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam I am. Do you like my war in Vietnam?
I do not like your Vietnam. I do not like it, Sam I am.
Are you fond of Lyndon Johnson? Did you like the Gulf of Tonkin? Operation Rolling Thunder? Flaming Dart to the Miley Blunder?
The kids at home will end with Mars, burning drop cards, burning bras. Do you like the riots in the inner cities? Did you think Kent State was pretty?
I did not like the riots in the inner cities. I did not think Kent State was pretty. I do not like this drugged-out dream. I do not like your rhyming scheme. I do not like your Vietnam. I do not like it, Sam I am.
Are you fond of Agent Orange? Do you? Damn!
I had her trapped. There is no rhyme for orange. Okay, Hey, buddy, what's the bird's eye lowdown?
Not so fast, Diamond. We got a couple of questions for you. Where was Lucy Ricardo on the day JFK was assassinated?
So, Kennedy was dead and they were trying to pin it on Lucy. I had to think quick. She was with me.
She couldn't have been with you, Diamond, because we were following you that day.
She was with me, but she was in disguise.
So Lucy was disguised with Diamond?
You're right. I should have seen that one coming. Look, act like a couple of good boys and take a long walk up a short pier.
That's good, Diamond, but I'm afraid we're going to have to rough you up.
No.
Yeah.
Sensing an opportunity, I slammed my face into his fist. When I came to, I was in the Watergate Hotel.
Tricky-dicks checkers, tricky-dicks checkers, come in, please. I am not a crook. I repeat, I am not a crook. And let me make one thing perfectly clear.
It was Vice President Nixon, one of the biggest commie hunters of his time.
That's President Nixon now, son, and commie hunting is passé. In fact, I'm using détente to open up relations with the Soviet Union and Red China. Watergate's White House. Watergate's White House. Come in, please.
You mean the Cold War is over?
No, sir, the Reds are still our mortal enemies. But we'd like them to be our pals as well. There's a lot of untapped potential there. Untapped. Get it? One must be a Democrat. Ring. Hello? It's for you.
I'll be there. So long. I'd better go. Happy tapping. Hey! Do that Nixon salute for me before you go.
Oh, what the heck?
I was told to meet a contact at the corner gas station. On the way there, I heard that Nixon had resigned the presidency but landed on his feet, whereas just the opposite had happened to Gerald Ford. When I got to the gas station, the line was over a half-mile long. I waited over an hour to get gas. I looked for my contact. Thanks. Dear Spade, been called to Iran to release hostages. For more information, see Ronald Reagan at the White House. Ronald Reagan? The only Ronald Reagan I know is a B actor who starred in Bedtime for Bonzo. That's absurd. The American people couldn't be that gullible.
Well,
Here's your breakfast, Mr. President.
Oh, thank you, Nancy.
I'm not Nancy, I'm your Vice President, George Bush.
George Bush? Oh, I loved you in Oh God. Well done, sir.
I was in Oh God, you're thinking of George Burns.
You're George Burns?
No, George Bush.
You know, I used to have a vice president named George Bush.
That's me.
Well, good. You look just like him.
Okay, Mr. President, we've got a busy day. In 15 minutes, we'll have brownies and milk.
Oh, goody.
Then at noon, we'll invade Grenada.
Say, that's swell.
1:15, cartoons.
Smurfs.
Then at 2 o'clock, we're going to fire Donald Reagan.
We're gonna fire me?
No, Donald Reagan.
Well, that's me, Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan?
See, he knows. Oh, hello, sir. How are you?
The name's Diamond. Spade Diamond. I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Okay. As I said to John Hinckley, fire away.
Do you believe in the domino theory?
Oh, yes. Mommy and I love to play dominoes while we drink hot cocoa and watch the Waltons.
No, the domino theory of international communism.
Well,
We're doing everything we can, Mr. President.
We're doing everything we can, Mr. President.
Were you behind the October surprise?
I don't recall.
As president of the Screen Actors Guild, did you blacklist my brother?
I don't recall.
Did you order Oliver North to trade arms for hostages?
Oh, you bet your ass, Bunny. I remember it distinctly. It was a Tuesday.
Mr. President, fast asleep. Now we'll never get any answers.
Well, I am ex-director of the CIA. Why don't you ask me?
Okay. What can you tell me about the Cold War?
Find it in the Middle East. Staying the course, moving forward. Soviet communists in Afghanistan, bad people. They're bad. Installed a Shah in Iran to keep out the communists, but that Ayatollah Khomeini threw him out, and now he's running Iran, and that's bad.
What are you doing about it?
Found some friends there, gonna help us out.
We're sending money and weapons to our good buddies Osama bin Laden and that Saddam Hussein.
Never heard of him.
Don't worry, you will. Ring, ring. Hello? What? Drunk again? Thank goodness I kept George W. out of Vietnam. He could have hurt somebody over there. What's that? Okay, I'll tell him. And remember, stay the course, 1,000 points a light. Click.
Who is that?
Bill Casey over there at the CIA wanted me to pass on a message from the conspirator guy. If you want to solve the mystery of the domino theory and find out the truth about your brother, meet him at the Berlin Wall, 7:30, checkpoint Charlie.
I'd better go. Thanks for your help.
It's morning in America. Hello, how are you?
I'm glad he's gone.
Oh, who's gone, Nancy?
George Bush. George Bush. George Bush. Ooh, ah!
Oh, Bonzo, Bonzo, it's bedtime, Bonzo.
I had to get to the Berlin Wall. It seemed appropriate that I was going to crack this case of the Iron Curtain, the dividing place between East and West. Now I had to find a way to get to Berlin.
I've got you now, Diamond. You're dead meat. Your butt is mine. Your ass is grass. Your keister's cooked. Your Heine's history.
Calm down, Flush. I don't have time for a long list of rump references.
You'll be singing a different tune soon, sister, in Sing Sing. I can prove you're the sick and twisted pervert responsible for disco.
You better watch your backbeat, flat foot throwing around accusations like that. You can't connect me to disco.
Oh, yeah? What's your favorite kind of music?
Disco.
Gotcha!
Damn! I've got to get to Berlin and you're not gonna stop me! He was catching up with me. I hopped onto my Harley-Davidson motorcycle.
Pull over, Diamond!
No way! Get me to Berlin and quick!
Berlin? On a motorcycle? Are you crazy?
Don't make any false moves. Let's go! Look out! Look out!
What?
A fruit stand! Look out! Look out!
What?
A nursery school! Look out! Look out!
What?
The Atlantic Ocean! Look out! Look out!
What?
The English Channel! Look out! Look out!
What?
Italy! Look out! Look out!
What?
Bavaria!
What's wrong with Bavaria?
Bavarian cream pie! Look out! Look out!
What?
The Moscow State Circus! Wait a minute. The Moscow State Circus! We've gone too far!
You'll never get away with it, Diamond.
Oh, I think I will. I just rode across the Atlantic Ocean on a motorcycle, didn't I?
Good point.
Back this thing up. Berlin!
Yes, but the wall is down. The Cold War is over.
Uncle Sam!
You know too much, Spade. I'd like to introduce you to a little friend of mine.
No, Sam! No!
Bonza!
Goodbye, Miss Spade. I'll protect you.
Bang! 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 Hang in there, Flush. You'll be all right.
Hello, Spade.
Conspirator guy.
That's right. I'm a split personality. Just like Jekyll and Hyde and Roseanne Barr. But before I die, I just want to tell you, your brother wasn't a communist. I set him up. Just like I said of Ricky Ricardo.
I knew it. My brother was innocent.
Do you want to know who started the Cold War, who benefited?
Yes.
The generals.
The military?
No. General Motors, General Electric, General Dynamics. They started the Cold War. But I shot JFK, not Lee Harvey Oswald.
Really?
Yeah. And I shot Bobby Kennedy too. And Malcolm X and Martin Luther King.
Okay.
And I poisoned Marilyn. And walked on the moon. And burglarized the Watergate Hotel.
Wow.
And I was the gossip girl. And invented the AIDS virus. And I whacked Nancy Kerrigan on the knee. And I would do it again if I had the chance.
Shut up!
And I made Oprah skinny and then fat again. And I let the dogs out. Me. And I was the one who told President Clinton, she's just an intern. Who cares?
Hey!
Global warming.
I had to put him out of my misery. So there it was. The Cold War was over and I had no more answers when I started. Communism was dead. Well, except for a few billion people in China and a few 100 million in North Yemen, North Korea, Cuba, Vietnam, Angola, Mozambique, and Vermont. But with the fall of the Soviet Union, America stood as the lone superpower. We were admired by all. It was a new world order, and I needed a drink.
Hey, Spade! Forget about the New World Order. I need your help!
Lucy, what are you doing here?
Ricky went back to Cuba on a visit, and now he's being held at Guantanamo Bay. They say it's because of this new war on terror.
Don't worry, we'll get him a lawyer.
No, he can't have a lawyer. They're not following the Geneva Convention.
Who is it?
Dick Cheney and George Bush.
Dick Cheney and George Bush? Aren't those the same guys who fought the last war? Don't worry, I'll put an end to this war on terror.
But how?
As a beautiful woman once said, who stands to benefit from the war? We figure that out and we're home free.
You know, Spade, this new world order seems an awful lot like the old world order.
It looks like that drink is going to have to wait.
We hope you enjoyed the show. Is there anything we need to add here historically?
No, we did it all.
Well, we left out a few people like Walt Disney.
He's not that important.
Well, not as an individual, but he was symbolic of the American dream.
Nah, that's too complex. You can't think of Walt Disney in the abstract. Hey, let's put that on ice.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Well, in that case, I just want to say that we might have sounded kind of cynical about America tonight, and that wasn't our intention. There are a lot of things we love about America, and I'd like to mention a few of them now. Harry Potter, One Direction, and Hugh Jackman.
Great. Now, we've covered about 50,000 years of American history tonight. War, pestilence, assassination, but you've been a fabulous audience, and you don't really deserve to have the show end on such a down note. So, in the great tradition of American optimism, we would like to bring you a happy ending. Tonight, we've told the timeline of American history from left to right.
Past to present.
Then to now.
But now, we'd like to go backwards in time. Right to left.
Present to past.
Now to then. And as we move backwards in time, we see the ozone layer growing and the national debt shrinking.
The number of AIDS cases decreasing. And the rainforest growing back at the rate of 1,000 acres a day.
As we move backwards in time, on September 11, 2001, we see the World Trade Center rise from the ashes and tower proudly over Manhattan.
Continuing backwards, we see Michael Jackson get blacker and blacker.
December 7th, 1941, a day that will live in infamy as the Japanese restore the American fleet at Pearl Harbor.
1929, White Wednesday. Stock market soars to new heights.
1874, the National Rifle Association disbands.
1775, King George removes tea tax.
1604, slave trade disappears.
1500s, Europeans return tons of gold and treasure to the native people of America.
1492, Columbus sews the hands back onto 250,000 Arawak Indians and backs his ship up from the New World to Spain.
Finally, the last people walked backwards across the Bering Strait from Alaska into Asia,
as the North American continent sinks peacefully into the sea.
And they all lived happily ever before.
I'm Holly.
I'm Aaliyah.
I'm Jason.
I'm Xander.
I'm Allison.
I'm Felipe.
I'm Marion. I'm Maddie.
I'm Ian.
I'm William.
I'm Sylvia.
I'm Greg.
I'm Kira.
I'm Elena.
And we